Good morning, world. You are on the Daily Huddle. My name is Sorel Ketan, the co-founder of the Daily Huddle, is Mr. Giovanni Gonzalez, Coach Gio, also my favorite human being. And today I am here instead of Zach and Kimberly Odie. Zach and Kimberly Odie are on a trip, and I'm here with our guest, Maria Jose McChesney, who will join us in a minute. But before I go, Harumi, I have a question for you. Why did the man put a stack of money in the freezer?
Oh, freezer, because a man, he wants to keep it as it is.
He wanted cold, hard cash.
Okay.
That's terrible, Sorrel. That's terrible.
See, I love it when Lizette laughs at my jokes. And Gio, I know you hate them, and I will keep them coming. Good. Welcome back, folks, and good morning. Today's question is about money. As you know, Zach and Kimberly have phenomenal conversations about money, and in their stead, we're continuing the trend, diving into a question with our guest this morning. And the question is, how do you approach the world of money without losing yourself in it? Now ask yourself that question. How do I approach the world of money without losing myself in it? Now, before we get into that question, I want to prime you with a few questions to get us present and create the space for this conversation to make the maximum difference it can make. Giovanni, good morning, my friend. Where are you and who are you going to hug today? Gio, you're muted.
Good morning, Sorrel. I was trying to find myself. I am right here, Sorrel. I am right here. And today I'm going to hug Maya. I'm going to hug Maya.
That's provided Maya accepts it, right? Thank you, Gio. Thank you and welcome to the Daily Huddle. Kurt, good morning. What time is it? And what are you grateful for? Kurt may not be here. Lizette, it's your turn. What time is it? And what are you grateful for?
The time is now. And I'm grateful for friends. Yes.
Grateful for friends. And Maria, we ask a third question to ground ourselves. And that question is, how are you? And the answer is always, I am the way I say I am. And I'd love to hear how you say you are this morning before I introduce you.
How am I? I think I'm ready for what comes today.
You are ready for what comes today. I get that. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a little bit about Maria Jose McChesney to give you a sense of who she is, where she's from, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, as Giovanni loves to say. Maria is a native of Mexico City. She holds a bachelor's degree in actuarial sciences and has dedicated her professional life and career to fostering meaningful connections with her clients from diverse industries and cultures. She's been living in Georgia for the past 5 years. We're lucky to have Maria McChesney in Georgia, along with her husband, Michael, and her 2 cats, Kino and Blaze. Her greatest joy is serving her clients and her community through financial guidance, education, to help them achieve their life goals and dreams. She's here with us today out of her accepting the invitation from a gracious friend named Dr. Noni Carter. So thank you, Dr. Noni, if you're watching. And Maria, welcome to the Daily Huddle. You posed the question, how do I approach the world of money without losing myself in it? And we'd love to hear a little bit about yourself. So beyond this one paragraph intro, who are you? What brings you here to Georgia? And why financial services as your profession? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, Sabriel, thank you so much for having me. I'm beyond excited to talk about this with your audience and with you. And I think, I'm here because of the flexibility that I've had in my life, really. It's just, I've had a vision of the life that I wanted to live. And by being open to the opportunities that were presented to me when I was in Mexico City, then I was able to move with my previous company to Miami. I stayed in Miami for a few years, and that was wonderful. I was single, so everything was, really fun. And then another opportunity presented to me to come to Georgia, and that's when me and my now husband, we decided to move in here and just give this area a chance. And why financial services? I think I've always been pretty fascinated with the idea that we created as humans, we created money, right? It's an invention. It's not natural. However, today we let ourselves be kind of I don't know, surrounded by money, like we let ourselves be lost in money, and it's not a natural thing to do. So I've always been very fascinated on how we approach money without losing our sense of humanity in it.
Wow, I love that. Like you said, money is something that I invented. I'll speak for myself, right? Money is something that I invented. And at some point in time, I forgot I invented it.
Yes.
And then I give it some kind of unnatural power over me. So I'm starting to understand the direction of the question you pose. How do I approach the world of money without losing myself in it? So there's this word in that question called the world, right? The world of money. How do you characterize, maybe make present for the world of money? What is the world of money to you?
Yeah, that's really great that you're asking that question, because as I was explaining this to my husband, I do see kind of several worlds that we live in. And just, two of them are the world of money, and the other one is the world of our soul, right? Our spirit, and the world of our essence. So we've forgotten, like you said, we've forgotten that we are souls before we are anything else, right? And we immerse ourselves in the world of money. And the world of money for me is just the world of things around us, the world where the human experience is just taken to a level of just things, right? Of just things that are created by our mind. And to be honest, it's a wonderful world. I don't think we need to make it evil and like, oh, money is bad. It's a wonderful world. I am amazed by the fact that humans were able to create everything that is artificial that's around us. I think the creation of our minds are just incredible. However, we are two things. We're a soul experiencing the human life, and we cannot and we should not forget about that. We are just experiencing this. We are not beings of the world of money. We are beings of the world of our soul, experiencing and creating this game of the world of money.
You know, I hung onto a word you said, and the word is artificial. So, and you also said money's not bad. The world, the artificial world I created is a good world. It's a cool world. And so in your practice, in having created for yourself a relationship to money as something I invented, and a relationship to myself as something that is, as someone, some being that is beyond money, how do you help your clients reconcile the two? And I'm asking the question because on Money Mondays on the Daily Huddle, we're fond of saying, gosh, we want you to make a ton of money. And I imagine you assist your clients in making a ton of money by helping them shift their relationship to the world of money. Tell us a little bit about that. Leave us with something that gives us that connection.
So I've been listening to Mitch Anthony, and whoever is not familiar with Mitch Anthony, just Google him, and he's wonderful. He defines his job as creating questions about money, which is like such a weird job to have, right? But one of the questions that I've been implementing in my meetings with clients is, one of his questions is, what is your first memory about money? And the other one is, how was money growing up? And we think that those things are not important, or that we have our own visions and expectations of money. But a lot of that, it comes from what money meant to us when we were kids. So for me, it's very important when I talk to clients is to uncover those things. What is money for? That's one of the biggest questions that I ask. If they have an account, it's just not, the whole point is not just to, let's double the value of this account, let's triple. That's just a consequence of the game of money, of the game of the stock market. But the real purpose is, why do you want this money for? Why are we even accumulating money? In a lot of them, you will be very surprised, or maybe you're not, but they're like, oh, I never thought about it. I just like to have that money there. Why? Because we use money as a fake sense of security, right? When we are lacking something, when we make ourselves, when we prioritize our fears in our life or our desires, we give money that power of giving us that false sense of security. So for me, it's very important to say, no, okay, that could be it, like just for me to feel safe. But let's just dig a little bit deeper. Why do we have this money? Do we want to travel? Do we want to live, build the life of our, the house of our dreams? What do we want to experience in life that we need money for, right? Money can be a wonderful thing when it's used as what it is. That is a tool. But it can be pretty disappointing when it's seen as a destination.
Money can be a wonderful thing when it's used as a tool, and it can be devastating when it's seen as a destination. Like, to accumulate money for its own sake, that's the destination you're talking about, right? Yet to accumulate money for a specific purpose, where as the inventor of money, I'm using money as a tool to fulfill yet another invention I'm making. So what you're creating leaves me in a place where I think I am, and people can give themselves the opportunity to be really powerful. And what I'm hearing in your speaking, Maria, correct me if I'm wrong, is that I invent everything. I make it all up. I made up money. I invent my desires. I want to go on vacation. That's also made up. Can use the thing I invented to get another thing I invented by inventing ways to get there.
Yes.
It's
And at the
all
end, it's
invented.
like, what is, yeah, it's all invented, right? So what would be the purpose of just living this game of Monopoly? Like, you know, if we're just puppets, the way that I see it is there are things that we don't invent, that we didn't invent, that is being a spirit, being a loving being, you know, just being love. That's something that we don't invent. Our emotions, our connections with others, our memories, those are things that we didn't invent. So I think money can be a wonderful tool to play this game, you know. um, but the whole point is not just to play it, not to achieve our desires or shelter ourselves from our fears. It's just to find those connections, to foster those connections, to play the game. Like, I think this is from a movie. They say the game, or the what is it called, like, the juice is in the game, you know, kind of. The whole point is that we get to play this game, you know, we
Yeah,
get to experience life and feel
I
joy about it.
I love it. I love it. You keep referring to the game, right? And I'd love for you to say a little bit about that game. I'm thinking for many people, the game may be what they're interpreted to be, and I'd love to hear your interpretation. What is this game you're playing?
I think when we play a game, right, when we are kids, it's to entertain ourselves, to make ourselves feel joy. And the game doesn't change, right? The game of life, the game of, okay, now I get to make a decision. Where do I go to college? Do I take a loan for college, or do I have the resources for that? You know, do I get married? Like, all of those is just like, that's the game, the life, you know. That's how I see it. Life is just that, it's something that we play with, something that we get to experience. And I think suffering comes from forgetting that we are the ones who are making those decisions. And even the things that happen to us, like, for example, lost, right? Like, I lost my dad a few years ago, and those are things I cannot control. But even the pain that that gave me, and that continues to give me, that's part of my human experience. If I was a cloud, you know, a lot of people, sometimes we wake up and we're like, we don't want to be humans today, you know, it's too difficult. And if I was a cloud, I wouldn't have had that pain. I would have not feel the horrible pain of losing somebody that I love, but I wouldn't have felt that love in the first place, you
Mm,
know. And I wouldn't have the chance to feel it again and again every single day. I feel love when I meet my clients, when I'm like, you should be proud of the life that you've lived, you know. I feel love every single day when I see my husband, when I see myself. um and if you're not in that place, and I'm not saying that I'm in that place every single day, you know, I try to remind myself. But if you're not in that place and you feel like you are just a piece, you know, a piece in the game, you're not the one who's playing it, then think about it again, you know. What are the things that are kind of holding you back? What are the things that are causing you pain and suffering? And is there a way that you can change that? You
mm.
know, is there a way that you can regain control on your choices? Or is there a way that you can just let go of the expectations that you have of your life?
You know, before we open it up for questions, Maria, I'd love to ask you, inside of the question, how do you approach the world of money without losing myself in it? Was there a point in time when your approach to the world of money had you lose yourself? And how did you recalibrate, so to speak?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I mean that question. That's why, when you and I, we were talking about, and I really didn't think of that question. It just magically kind of appeared in my conversation with you, which I thought it was wonderful, right? It's what happens when you surrender. Um, I feel like I'm in that process of
Mm,
making conscious choices every day to remind myself that this is a game I get to play and that there's no right or wrong answer. So, for example, recently I was offered a great opportunity, at my work. And I realized, like, if I take it, okay, wonderful things are going to happen, but also challenges are going to happen. If I don't take it, same. So there's no like, oh, I should have done that. If I no, there's that is all made up. That is all made up. Nothing. It's the right choice. So I think that is just, it comes with a daily reminder. I try to, do yoga in the mornings, meditate, and just sit with my thoughts, just do nothing sometimes and really wonder, like, am I being petty? Am I being rude? Am I being kind? Just wondering really how I'm acting throughout the day. That's, I think, a daily practice. It's not, you just don't reach that level, unless you're the Buddha, I guess. But I'm not there, and probably none of us are there yet. So it's just a daily reminder that we get to play this wonderful game.
oh my God, we could be having this conversation for the rest of the day, right? And right now, I want to open it up and give the rest of our team and everyone who's here being with us the opportunity to ask questions and comment. And as we're waiting for one or two questions to come in, I want to ask you another. When it comes to, you said money's not the destination. When it comes to that destination, do you ever find yourself, Maria, saying, I don't have enough money, I need more?
I think it comes with, again, what is that money for, right? I don't have enough money for what? I do have enough money to live today. I do have enough money to go on a trip. I do have enough money for, to buy food for a month. So what do I want that money for? Why do I want that money for, So I do find myself with goals, because that's I think part of fully immersing yourself in the game. I think, it's I think I don't know if it was Michael Singer who said this, but basically seeing your life as if it was a play, right? And you are performing a character, but you do know that this is a play. But just knowing that it's a play is not going to prevent you from fulfilling your character and playing it as fully as you can. You're still going to give it your best performance, right? And best performance in a play could look very differently for many people. For me, my best performance in this life is right now to be able to have these conversations, to be able to help my clients really find why they want money and use it as a tool, and I try to do the same with myself. Why do I want this money? Do I have enough for this objective? No? Okay, let's just keep moving towards that.
Mhm. And in that play, Maria, who's the author of the play?
I think, and again, I grew up Catholic, but I cannot say that I'm Catholic. But I think God, just however you want to label energy, the being, whatever. God is the author of the play, and he allows you, or she allows us to enjoy it. So it's a gift. I do see it as a gift that we get to live here, this wonderful life. Um, so we better enjoy it, don't take it too seriously. Just enjoy the gift.
Gio.
Thank you. Yes. So thank you, Maria, for being here. It's such a wonderful conversation and such a refreshing opportunity to look at money. I certainly could not anticipate the conversation going in this direction, and I really appreciate the inquiry. And I find myself in many different worlds that you guys have sent my brain to. And I guess the one that I want to settle in is a question. I'm going to try to word this question. The conversation today opens up this relationship between money as a tool and how money gives me this access to have a spiritual experience as I'm alive, like the tool for the spirit I am. Right? It's kind of like how this conversation is showing up for me, and how do you? I'm curious, right? I'm curious. It almost seems to me like there's just two different worlds. That the matrices that help someone grow money, right? For those people who want to, like myself, the matrices that help me grow money and have more money on that tree, and the matrices that I use to grow spiritually are two different. How do you help your clients or how do you like to express yourself rather, to support those who are interested in growing the money tree, like to measure it and to see the profit margins and to make sure that I'm not spending more money than I'm making, and the intricacies that allow someone to grow financially. How do you mix it, or how do you express yourself between the world of spiritual expression around the tool of money?
So, well, thank you so much for that question, Gio. And I think it's all about the reason behind, right? Like it's very easy for us to get lost into the tacticalities of this world, of money, of the P&L and profit and all of that. And I think it can be so interesting that we lose ourselves in it and we forget why are we doing it in the first place. So the way that I like to approach it, again, I would like to ask you, why do you even care about that? Why you don't want to spend more than you have? Okay, and then some fears may be coming afloat, right? Like, oh, I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be living under a bridge. My parents didn't have this, So those are the real conversations I want to have about money. Why do you care? Why do you even do the things that you do? And with that connection, then I help them redirect if needed. So the conversation is not about how much money I make, is like how full am I living my life with the money I have.
Got it. I have found challenging for me. To mix both worlds without, like when you said the intricacies of the complexities and the intricacies that money are like, this is how it lives for me. Absent of surrendering to the intricacies, there's no growth. I mean, it's very difficult. It's very easy for me, not easy or difficult. I can connect to the why of my growth. I can connect to that, and that it's a blissful experience as a human being. But certainly most of my life I lived broke. around that emotion. What gave me my breakthrough was to surrender to the intricacies of the matrices, for example, of financial need analysis. Like surrender to the cent. Absent of me surrendering to the cent, how much money am I spending every single month? And actually looking at it without any emotion, I was broke for a long time, but blissful of life. It's an interesting thing that I'm discovering in this conversation.
Absolutely. And I think to that point, like it comes from that, right? Like, why are you doing this? Is because maybe I'm just gonna go on a limb here, but that's just a way for you to feel the security that you didn't feel when you were broke, right? And that's a very valid thing. So you are using money maybe more as a destination, right? But what is the point of feeling secure? Are you just sheltering yourself from fears, or are you really unlocking the power of money and say, it's not like I don't want to be broke. I just want to live a life that is full of experiences, whatever that is. And maybe I would challenge you and I will ask you this. Would you like yourself as much as you do today if you would lose all your money? Would you respect yourself if you lose all your money? And I think if the answer is no, then that's a good starting point to question how are we even looking at money.
I know time has run out, and I'd like to say this to the possibility of that question. I have had the privilege of losing everything, but only 15 years later, I can say it's a privilege. Only now I can say that.
Yeah.
While I was going through the journey, it was not a privilege.
Oh, you're mute. I think you're on mute.
You inadvertently muted yourself, Gio.
Yeah, no, sorry. I said time is gone. It's gone. I want to continue, but it's gone.
This is what happens, therapy sessions, which I love. So
Well, the cool thing about a conversation on the Daily Huddle is that we don't have them to reach conclusions or get to a destination. We have them to uncover and discover something personally. And perhaps in what Maria has said today, in the question Gio has asked, you have given yourself the permission to discover something that's new for you. And if you've done that, then today has been the fulfillment of what the Daily Huddle stands for. Thank you for being here. Maria, I'd love for you to say one last thing. Anything you want to say to leave us inside of where you want us to be, given the question you posed today. And tell people a little bit about your financial services practice and how they may reach you.
of course. So I would say thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I love this conversation. It helped me to go deeper into my perceptions of money. And I would say don't take having or not having money too serious, just see it as a part of the of the journey. That is something that I would like to do for myself, and I try to do with myself every day, and that's something that I would like to leave you with. And about me, so I do have an office in Marietta, Georgia. You guys can Google me, Maria Jose McChesney. There's not a lot of Mexican, Irish people out there, I guess. So I'll be the first one that pops on your Google search. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you. And you can also reach out via the Edward Jones website. And we would love to have a conversation that is deeper and that helps you to find, why do I care that much about money, and how can I use money as a tool to achieve my life goals.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your spirit. Thank you for the quest you're on, where you're seeking to discover yourself as the inventor of money and also the player in life.
Love it.
Thank you so much. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
Daily Huddle, folks. This is Money Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday, health and wellness. If you have not done so yet, you may still have the time to join the fall challenge with our friend Dan Cornett. The Daily Huddle is here every weekday, Monday through Wednesday. Join us. And when you do, you fulfill everything that the Daily Huddle stands for. Thank you for being here. Go forth and love, laugh out loud, eat mostly plant-based. Yes, you want to keep that body sound so it could do everything you want it to do for you in this lifetime. Sleep, rest, give everything you've got. You're not taking it anywhere with you. Perhaps all the joy of life and all the money we want to accumulate is so that we may give more. So I invite you to give. Move your body, get some exercise, and at every turn, check your assumptions. This is your Daily Huddle for today. My name is Sorel Ketan. I love you. Giovanni loves you more. Until tomorrow.
Thank you.